Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
I love Ben Riley.
Well. Alright, kids, you know what that means. It got delayed a month for our 250th episode. It got delayed a week for our 250th episode, but the boys are back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Spider Cast. Giving you some more Scarlet Spider. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, for these Scarlet Spider episodes, it is Mr. Signal of Doom himself, Chuck Dixon's best friend. It is Dave.
Hello, listeners. Excited to be here. It's 4 a.m. in Sydney. It's a hot summer night, and the only thing that's keeping me alive is caffeine, and obviously thoughts of Marlene from Moon Knight. And she hasn't popped in yet, Ray. I'm disappointed that she hasn't made an appearance for Scarlet Spider. I bet she would get along with this guy.
That's right, kids.
Oh, yeah.
Also, it is the High Priest of Khonshu and the Master of the Marvel Snap. It is Ray.
I hate superheroes, and I just want to be left alone. That's the message that we are getting loud and clear from one Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
I hate superheroes. I want to be left alone.
I hate the Rangers. I'll say that. the fucking lame-ass Rangers. Like... one thing I did like in these three rather mediocre issues was the contempt that he had for the Rangers, because I shared it. Other than the one who was like an alien or something, he seemed kind of cool.
51, yeah.
I've never heard of these guys ever, so it was a surprise. And Phil, great to be back, by the way.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah.
Likewise, Phil, of course. Likewise, and it's Marvel Champions. I enjoyed seeing the likes of Living Lightning and Firebird. Dave, they're old, kind of, or more recent West Coast Avengers. Excellent West Coast Avengers.
Z-listers, then. Okay.
Miguel.
They've been on the DL for a while.
Texas Twister's like an old character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I
70s. Yeah, no.
Wow, I thought they'd been created for this.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No.
Okay. That's a surprise to me, because I've never encountered them before. What about the alien who was called 51? Is he your
first I've actually... Phil, do you know?
I think he might be a new... That's a new one.
Yeah.
He was my favorite. He was my favorite one.
Oh, interesting. So you
The mystery.
cut the
Mystery
wheat
spinner.
from the chaff there. Yeah, you picked out the one that actually is the new.
And I always have a fondness for Native American characters. So Red Wolf I do like in general. And I did like the banter that Kaine had with Red Wolf about his wolf and stuff. And like all that.
Dave, I would have thought your favourite bit out of this trilogy of comic book issues was when Scarlet Spider first saved Zoe, and then things just got hot and heavy straight away. Ended up in the bed. It was good,
but I would have preferred a lot more graphic. But yeah, I mean, that was interesting. In fact, in fairness, I found these three very underwhelming issues, but I did like the start, actually, of it, and I felt they could have gone in a much more interesting direction than what they did go in, personally, from the beginning, because I thought it was a great opening in the first issue. I really did.
Yeah, look, I like anything with Roxxon. I think they're pretty fun, and the big corporation. It was a pretty simple premise, set out by the oil rig, and there being like some untapped and like infinite energy source, which turns out to be some sort of possessive demon. Energy demon of some sort.
Which kind of possesses people, and he kind of fed them migrant illegal workers.
Well, Roxxon...
because it burns people out,
Exactly, but Roxxon wants to tap into that.
I could imagine some PC trooper out there getting offended these days by that. They'd be like, oh, when they're like, the bad guys are being bad guys and they have a problem with it now. I love that kind of stuff when they get offended and they come to me, and I'm just like, go away. Live your life. Complaint not accepted. Complaint rejected. But it would have been fun if there'd been someone chiming in, and maybe someone gets offended listening to this. That'd kind of be fun. We have to hope.
But may I ask a question to both of you, because I did read it, at medium pace. I wouldn't say I read it quickly, but the Rangers, when they came in, Phil, at first I thought they were under the engagement of Roxxon, but they seem to not like Roxxon anyway.
Yeah, I think at the end of the first issue, 7, I think they wanted you to think they were working for Roxxon.
Yes.
But yeah.
But they did, they weren't.
And I thought that they were all new, that the writer had created them. I had no idea that these were characters from yesteryear. Other than Red Wolf, I did realize, but I was like, my first reaction was like, oh my, this is lame. And then when I realized that guy was like spinning around like a little tornado, I was just like, can someone give me a gun so I can just end it now? Like,
he's very cheesy.
I really, like, considering the praise that we have lavished upon this comic at times, it's been quite a strong run until this point. It all came crumbling down in this issue, in these 3 issues for me, and
I just wonder if that was the point that Yost had about this team, Dave, is that they aren't the A-listers and stuff, because it seems like most times Texas Twister shows up, he is supposed to be like the butt of the joke and stuff. And because there's even a point in the late 70s where Shield's trying to put together a team of super agents, and Texas Twister's one of them. And it's basically just it's half the team was like traitors, the other half it's like, I don't know if you guys are ready for prime time. It's just.
Yeah, and I don't mind it at all when writers leaf through like a Marvel handbook or the DC Who's Who and select people from yesteryear, who are Z-listers, and put them in stories. I just didn't think this was done very well.
Yeah, I think it was probably Yost was probably doing his homework and be like, okay, what characters or what already pre-existing characters are from the South or the Southwest of the country? Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, well that makes a bit more sense.
It'd be a hard act to follow as well, because we all loved, I think, issue 5, right? Was it issue 5? And issue 6 was pretty decent.
We've lavished a fair bit of praise upon this comic, and I felt that this was the lead character. He still has the voice of right. I didn't feel that we got enough Scarlet Spider, ironically, in these 3 issues. He has the voice of the character down perfectly. I just, as I often feel with modern comics, this shouldn't have been 3 issues. There wasn't 3 issues worth of story here. This should have been a 2 issue. Gardner Fox would have whipped this out in half a fucking issue.
Fox.
If Gardner Fox was here, he would have just dominated. He would have been, he goes, you need 20 pages? This is 10. And they're like, oh, we want you to spin it over 3 issues. He'd be like, not really, dear boy. This is ridiculous. This is just padding. This is padding. They call it decompression. I call it padding. I call it lazy writing. The artwork was fine. Also, what I fucking loved, and when I say that, I mean it ironically, I didn't love it at all, was the recap at the start of each issue. Oh. With every story being the previous issue. They didn't have enough story. I just
ignored it.
I ignored it too, because it was telling me exactly what I just read. But they clearly didn't have enough story, because normally those things, it's way more of a bigger picture sort of summary. Sometimes it's just text. But I just felt like he was playing for time. And what I don't understand is why. You've got Scarlet Spider. He's obviously not a main tier character, but he is Spider family related. You're dropping readers with an arc like this. They're dropping off. Seriously. I hate to be critical, but come on, this was amateur hour.
Yeah, look. What did you think? I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't as good as the previous issues, but
I didn't think it was bad. But I mean, to somewhat of Dave's point, I think coming off the last couple issues we did, where it's we had one fill in, then we had a arc that was a little better, and then we should have ramped up. But but I just wonder, because we'll get to it. But next episode we're gonna do it. This book gets involved in a crossover, so I wonder if we were playing for time too there, because there is a crossover coming.
I mean, because if you look at stakes, I guess there wasn't much put on the plate for this. It was just a cute little story for me. It was just a Roxxon, little wrapped up kind of when I say one and done over 3 issues. It was
that's my problem, Ray. It's a one and done over 3. Come on.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but
I want to thank you, Dave. I think I've come up with a new term now. So if I feel a story is too stretched out or too padded, I'm going to say, man, this story has more padding than Kingpin's ass.
Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. And he does have a fair bit of padding. He's carrying a lot of junk in that trunk.
But, just to Dave's point, though, as well, I think Scarlet Spider was written really well. I enjoyed the action scenes. You actually got to see him do a lot of things, like take on all of them, take on a whole lot of, like, Roxxon, like, security guards as well. And then at the end, take on Mammon, which he so cleverly does by guiding it towards an oil tank. I guess he knew that oil was what kind of imprisoned it before. So very kind of smart
That
play.
was good. That part was good. I also was questioning the Murphy, the CEO of Roxxon. Does he come back into the storylines at some point, like in terms of Marvel
He's
Universe?
a vegetable now, isn't he? Right, yeah.
Yeah, I wondered.
Phil, did you...
I can't remember. I don't know.
I know one of them was at like in Thor, there was like a CEO who was like a goat or something. From vaguely, I'm recalling Jason Aaron's Thor run.
Yeah, but it was a different guy, I think. Because I think Roxxon just as you saw by the end of this story, they just they're like, move on to the next guy.
Yeah, they move on to the next. Yeah,
and I do like Roxxon. I do like that Roxxon's kind of like the evil corporation that gets away with shit. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And the angle also as well now of, well, they're very important to Houston, let alone the world. They employ like 100,000 people globally, so it kind of gives them that kind of realistic angle. They're not just an evil corporation. A lot of people rely on them for their income.
The joke was funny about Galveston too, when they're like, you've got a lot to learn about Houston. Didn't even know Galveston. I was like, wow, you obviously don't even know the fucking song, man. Like, really? Like, even in Australia, we know the song. Galveston. Galveston.
Although I have to say, issue 7, I love that cover.
That's good. Yeah, nice
cover.
cover.
Really nice cover. That is a lovely cover, actually. Like,
by far the best of them. The other two kind of just look like pages from the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's fighting. Yeah, it's him fighting the Rangers.
I'd love to know what the sales were like on this. I would love to know. Because it fascinates me. Because it's not a weak title, but in my opinion, he is kind of like in Spider-Man. He is kind of a bit of a sort of like a D-lister in the Spider-Man family. But this is actually it's had quite a strong lead-in. And it spiraled out of like the Spider Island event, which obviously was very popular. So I would love to know how this did at the time.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, it got to 25, so
it must have done okay.
Yeah,
yeah, interesting.
Is
he still running around? Is he still running around, Kaine, in the Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's slightly different though, right? Because ever since Spider-Verse and all that, he got really what is he Slot called him? He's not like the bride or the chosen one. He's the other one. He's
the other. Yeah, maybe.
He's like is it the other? Like he can turn like bestial. Like he's very.
Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. I think.
But
like. I mean, I couldn't give these 3 issues more than 5.5 out of 10. I felt they were very mediocre, actually, and quite a letdown from what this book has been. They were a very quick read. I read them today quickly, and I mean, I enjoy it well enough, because I like the character of Kaine that Yost is writing, and I don't mind the artwork. I just felt I have a thing when they stretch out a storyline too far, and this wasn't 3 issues worth of story to me.
Yeah.
2 issues.
You're right. I think 2 issues that you could really just trim it down. I enjoyed the art. I thought the art was quite good. It kept me engaged most of the time. But I thought, Yost's writing was solid. I mean, he kept the pacing going. Had all the beats. It was just like, I guess he was working with the framework that he had. He had this idea for Roxxon and this. I'm pretty sure that's the last we'll see of Mammon. Like, it's very much a one-off kind of villain. But nothing spectacular. I would give it in the range of like a 6 or 6.5. It was I enjoyed it when I read it, but it's not
Mm.
like something that I'll be retreading over and over again. You know,
You
whereas
won't be
issue
buying the
5,
hardcover. You won't be buying the hardcover,
No.
right?
He gave in the peer pressure and gave it.
no, issue 5 though is something I'd love to read again. That was a great one-off. That was really cool.
It was good. Yeah.
So yeah.
All
What
right.
about Phil? He's the man in charge. What do you think, Phil?
I'd say it's probably in a 6.5 to 7 range. I mean, it's a serviceable enough story, but I mean, yeah, it's not lighting the world on fire. But I think I found what Dave was looking for this whole series. It says the first issue sold over 50,000 copies, but sales dropped to about an average of 22,000 copies being sold per issue by July of 2013. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it seems like it's very much in that kind of median of the bulk of comics, where basically issue 1 is the hot property, and then things just dip. I mean, that's most comics. So, yeah.
But regardless, it's not a bad comic. So it just shows you just how challenging it is to launch, even inside the Spider family, with kind of like, let's face it, a minor Spider-Man character. And decent creative team, and it's hard. Like you kind of it is a challenging business. And
I'm pretty sure. I mean, at that time, they launched the book and they said, Scarlet Spider, and people showed up, and I guarantee you, some people were just like, "Wait, this isn't Ben Reilly?" I don't know.
I was one of them when you guys said we were doing Scarlet Spider. I assumed it was Ben Reilly.
Yeah,
and then I opened it up and it's some Kaine. But to be fair, I actually really like Kaine in this.
I think Yost does a really good job in kind of framing him out as a different sort of fella, and like from memory as well. Like we're up to 9 issues, and correct me if I'm totally wrong. It hasn't relied on the appearance of Spider-Man or anything. There's mentions of Peter Parker, but it uses Craven, like it uses some kind of tangential characters from Spider-Man, but it doesn't rely on cameo appearances for it to carry itself along.
Yeah, no, we haven't seen like a Hulk turn up or something.
Yep.
Yep.
No Punisher, Dave. No Punisher.
But frankly, I'm going to say this: like, why not throw that in? I'd rather a Hulk or Punisher show up than fucking Mammon and the Texas Rangers. Like, I'd rather fucking Chuck Norris turn up as Walker Texas Ranger than these clowns.
How about David Carradine, Kung Fu?
I'd love to see it. I shook his hand, got a picture signed by him. Fantastic. And he can't hear. He's dead now, but he was alive then. He can't hear. He's basically deaf. He's like, I can hear you. I can hear you. And I was just like, oh my God, get me out of this conversation. And he put his hand up like I was supposed to kiss the ring. And I was just like,
really?
He put his hand up like that. And I was like, I sort of shook his fingers. I was like, I'm not going to kiss the ring. Like,
it's a complete stranger. What bloody hell? That's pretty.
He's like, I can hear you, and I felt like saying, "Well, put your hearing aid in, pal, because like it's a Q&A,
Yeah, you need to hear this."
But he was an entertaining guy. I tell you that much. He had a lot of personality. When he hung himself in a Bangkok hotel, I wasn't that surprised.
Oh wow!
It was a sex thing, a fixia gone wrong.
Jeez.
The seedy side, man. But hey, live by the sword, die by the sword.
That's
it. Die by the sword, man. Well, that's it.
But I mean, I'm just tracking back to what I read between these 3 issues. If there was anything kind of, any kernel of something that would kind of last, and something that we learn from Kaine. And I can't really, other than maybe Zoe. I mean, there's the little tease then that she's going to be a lot of trouble for Kaine, later on, because she knows his secret identity. Well, she knows a lot more about him. Let's face it. After a few pages.
But why did she not know who it was? I mean, she'd been at his house and she knows where he lives.
Well, he lives in a hotel. I mean, she saw his face. I mean, he's not a famous guy.
At her apartment, like when they
okay. So it was just a pure wham bam. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Because Kaine arrives back and it's cleared out and she's disappeared. So she doesn't know where he lives, but all she knows is what he looks like.
Yeah, and
there is one thing about it. I'm terrible at recall. I'm probably horrible on shows like this. I forget everything. But you are right. Now you've reminded me of that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something funny. This was hilarious. On Last Signal, the movie The Thing. There's always that. The John Carpenter. There's always that thing about is it whoever's around the fire, are they an alien or not? And apparently, I mean, I've forgotten it. I've watched it 20 years ago, and I was like, apparently, Rich, like, people don't know if it's Kurt Russell or the other guy. And Richard's like, no, people don't know if the other guy's an alien. We know as a viewer it's not Kurt Russell. And I was like, oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, people got really confused. So I was like, yeah, I was one of those people. And he goes, they probably weren't paying attention. I go, I was that person.
Put in your hearing aid, man.
Yeah. but I'm like, Richard, I saw this movie 20 years ago and wasn't paying that much attention.
Details, 20
like,
years ago.
Me, like, like I didn't even know it was a controversy until recently when someone mentioned it. I was like, what, people are arguing about it still? Like, is it that amazing?
But,
like,
you
know.
Wow. Yeah,
but I'm not surprised. I forgot. You are right. He went back to the place. And the one thing that the alien guy did was he went into the floor, which is where all the immigrants were who'd been killed, because when they first came in...
Yeah. So, because at first they're like, oh, there's no evidence that Roxxon's been, using these people and killing, and to die and stuff. But, then the alien finds it, and so they can...
That was a little bit, I found, like, art-wise, and just telling that story a little bit vague. Because 51 got smacked around, and then the next page you see Firebird looking at a corpse, and so I thought 51 had died at first. Like she's going, "Oh my god!" Like
if there wasn't dialogue, it would have been hard to understand exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, when you turn the page, everything's explained, but like just that moment, it's kind of like, "What happened?" Yeah.
Well, sometimes storytelling, sadly, is absent in some of these artists, like. They need the expository dialogue to tell you what happened, where I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, could you not have drawn that so we could have worked that out quickly? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I feel like the artists are either lazy or don't have clear instruction. And
is that another problem, since were stretching this 3 issues, was the pacing off a little bit, where maybe it went too long in some places and you needed more.
I thought it was
way too long. It went an issue too long. This was a 2-issue story at most. I would have liked this to have been a one and done. If Gardner Fox was here, this would have been a one and fucking done. Seriously. And
where's the paycheck?
Instead, we stretched it, and I don't know why we're padding for time, because sales were hit in the toilet, and we're padding for time. And it's,
like I said, we got a crossover next time, so maybe we're playing for time there.
Does it have Carnage? I thought I saw it.
Yes,
there's a minimum Carnage.
There's Carnage in there. The Flash Thompson Venom's in there.
All right, right on.
What I think kind of it lacked this trilogy of issues again. Was I think Yost didn't know whether to make what happened on the oil rig a mystery or not. It started out like that, but then it ended up like he almost forgot about it being a point of interest for the story. You know what I mean? It got revealed to us at the end, but it wasn't. He didn't cash in on that, on the gimmick of it.
You can see it coming a mile off, though, where they're like, "I warned them it wasn't oil." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure it's some mysterious energy."
Yeah, but like, I felt that's the way he opened up. With it being in the past, that's meant to be a big thing. But really, it wasn't, because
the best part of these 3 issues was like the first, say, 4 or 5 pages of issue 1. The first issue.
When the building blows up,
it was
that was great, and it's something that you don't consider with superheroes. When he said, "Oh, that explosion would have taken his head off," like he would.
Don't you remember that after 9/11, there was that thing where people were really sensitive about buildings blowing up? Clearly, by 2011-12, we were over that. But you remember this, Phil? Like, remember there was that thing where they're like, "Oh, we can't show that movie. It's got a building blowing up." And I'm like, "Okay, what about the other 4,000 movies that's happening?" Like, my favorite one was when 9/11 was an absolute tragedy. But remember when people were saying the 2 Towers should be banned, the Lord of the Rings movie?
Oh, really?
And there were some people who thought that like it was done now about that, and it's like this 2 Towers is from like 1950s or something. Come down. But no, but I just thought that was interesting as well, because that was a decade on, and obviously it wasn't pulled up. So I mean, I don't know what else to say other than I feel this was deflating. It was okay. It's 5.5 out of 10. I don't know where Ray's getting 6.57s from. I mean, Jesus Christ, Ray.
Come on. Come on.
Are you have you got Christopher Yost in the back pocket for next week or something? Like,
No. I wasn't bored when I read it. Like I read it and it was like good, and it was moving. I wasn't bogged down in any of the pages. So I thought,
I'll tell you what, it was a quick read, which I enjoy. It was a quick read.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, so
it almost gets a 6 because it was a quick read, but it doesn't. Because at the end of the day, I've got to be like a judge now. I've got to be. I'm becoming like a judge now. Like I can't let emotions sway me on the bench, Ray. you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think also it's a fine line, right, for the writers, whether they write too much or they write not enough. And I think Yost does it just right. You know, it's actually, I guess, compared to conventional writing, comic book writers are so economical anyway. Like you think about it, they could only say one or two sentences for each character, like per panel.
Writing.
Yeah, so I think he's done really well to kind of have enough info there to keep you engaged, but not be too bogged down with dialogue. Let the art do its work.
I could live the rest of my life and never see those Rangers again, though, man. Like, I fucking hate those.
I love Living Lightning. He's awesome.
I mean, he didn't have a lot to do this story though. But
awesome wouldn't exactly cover his actions here.
West Coast Avengers is
very lame.
It's Living Lightning. That's awesome. Come on.
I can't.
I would have preferred Molten Man.
Oh, damn!
Yeah, that is good.
I can't believe Dave didn't bring up Shooting Star, that blonde with the pistols.
Yeah,
what is that like? She shoots like there were literally stars coming out as well. Is she not? Is she superhuman? What's going on? Is she just a shooter?
I'm not sure. She was. Yeah, I wasn't familiar.
Shooting
with her.
Star. Yeah, Dave. I thought of you immediately when I saw her.
Yeah, it was okay, man. Like, if I can be brutally honest, and I'm going to break it down right now, the artwork didn't flatter. It's a very somehow some artists, because I think they've got a rush. It's almost like the look is almost androgynous because it's so stylized. It's like looking at how can I describe it? Paintings that are sort of like you see, like whether it's man or woman doesn't really matter but it's not like you're looking at it thinking about how they are attractive or not. It's just more shapes, and it's quite. That's how it looks. That's how a lot of Marvel artwork is to me. I look at it and I'm just like, it's okay. It tells the story, but it's not realistic in any way.
Well, I noticed a shift in the art. There were more than one artist, right? It definitely looked that way. I could be wrong. I thought the art changed. Maybe it was between issues, but I thought within an issue something changed.
Yeah. Well, that's often a sign of a disaster.
Choi Pham was the penciler. Okay.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh no! Shooting Star. Yeah, Shooting
Decent.
Star was Texas Twister's partner. I'm looking this up. Yeah. Okay.
It was decent artwork. Don't get me wrong. It's decent artwork, but I'm looking at a G.I. Joe comic right now by Herb Trimpe. And let me tell you, there's a guy who knew his way around a comic book. Yeah. Whereas this to me was kind of like the House Marvel style of now, and I feel this kind of style of artwork is very disposable, very forgettable.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like the art we got in the first couple issues.
No,
no,
it's fine. The artwork's like a 7. Don't get me wrong, it's a 7. Yeah. It's fine, but I don't know what to say other than
it actually reminded me a little bit of Doug Braithwaite. He did a little Punisher. Dave, do you remember that?
Yeah, I do recall.
Euro War or something?
Euro Hit.
Euro Hit.
He has crystal clear recall if it's Punisher or Marlene.
Yeah, I do actually. I'm just bringing up. I recall really enjoying Euro Hit a fucking lot more than this.
That was awesome. Yes, I'd reread that and I loved it. When I read it in the 90s, I was kind of like, this is going on a bit, but it was actually really good.
It's fucking great stuff, Ray.
Yeah, it is.
I would say, give me more. Give me more.
But Pham's art reminded me a little bit of that, of Braithwaite's. So
I'm looking at his artwork. I prefer Doug Braithwaite's artwork, but that said, I don't dislike this art by any means. I mean, I understand something now that I didn't understand probably 20 years ago. Just how challenging it must be to pump out these issues for these artists. I love getting the people on Signal and asking, did you write full script? Were you working on full script? And you get various answers. Like some people really don't use, mostly they use full script. But other times it's not the case. Like it does vary from person to person and what era they were working in.
Right.
It's interesting. Chuck Dixon always uses full script. We were talking about it the other day. Even on stuff where it looks like the artist is really loose, he said, I give them I know the artist and how to factor it in for them kind of thing and where to give them the room.
Oh, especially these days, because I just talked to Jeff Johnson. He was saying, you gave notes to the colorist, thinking like time of day and stuff, thinking it wasn't going to come in anything, and the colorist, did the coloring, so it's like, oh yeah, it's like sunset or something. So it gets more detailed these days.
Yeah.
Which must be challenging at times. It's a real skill. Look, and I do feel that I think 7 out of 10 for the artwork. The person does a decent job. Like, honestly.
Oh yeah, there's no problem with the art. Yeah, no.
No, there's absolutely no problem at all, really. Like, I could be argued to a 6, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm being generous. I'm being very generous.
Lovely. Well, there was that scene that I thought was pretty cool where where Scarlet Spider surprises the IT guy. And then you have the security guy, and they just started shooting. I just thought that IT guy was gone for all money. But Scarlet Spider, he pushes him out of the way. Which is good.
He gets hit,
ruthless.
Though. He does get hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Roxxon.
Because Roxxon's Evil Incorporated. They're like, the IT guy knows our secrets now too. So just gun them both
kill
out.
Them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with Roxxon is like their normal employees and security guards are like way evil. It's not just like Lex Corp where it's like fully Lex and like a couple of people. Roxxon is just like all in all just infected throughout the whole corporation.
They just hire people from Rikers Island or something,
That's hilarious. Right. Have they been in the Marvel movies?
They've been in Cloak and Dagger, actually.
Okay.
They're in the TV series Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
But just the name, that was all.
Yeah. Did you guys watch Runaways? I thought that was all right. I watched that.
I think I watched the first 2 seasons, or I think there were 3 seasons.
I only saw the first couple episodes. I mean, it wasn't bad.
It was okay.
Yeah,
it was a lot slower paced.
We watched the first 2. We watched the first 2 and enjoyed it,
Yeah, it's pretty slow paced.
I liked, though, the sort of Scientology riff they were doing. That was kind of interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
In that.
Well, Cloak and Dagger was... If Runaways was a walking pace, Cloak and Dagger was like a crawl
really?
pace.
I didn't watch a single episode
really
of Cloak and
slow.
Dagger.
It was slow. Yeah, it was on. I know here it was on some like channel I'd never heard of before, so I was just it wasn't like a major network or anything.
Did anyone ever watch The Gifted? I tried to watch that.
Yeah. It was like the X-Men spin-off.
We watched a fair bit of that.
Yeah, I didn't. It seemed to me like
good.
Nah, it seemed like The Bold and the Beautiful for Mutant. Comic books.
Look, to be honest, we watched, like, mind you, we watched some crap, and it was kind of in that zone where it's like, oh, it's okay, it's on,
Yeah. I
can't
persevered.
remember anything about it. Yes, we probably watched most of the first season and then just stopped.
Yeah, Well, I think I've watched, if not all of it, for maybe the last 2 or 3 episodes. I drifted off, but everything else I watched.
It had a really hot actress in it who's a bit older now. I remember she was like the mother or something. There was an actress I really liked in it, but it was like 10 years ago she was big, and then she turned up in this. Yeah, that was a major reason.
Oh, was it Amy Acker?
Amy Acker. Yeah, she's.
It may have been. Yeah, it may have been, man. Yeah,
the mom of the Strucker twins, right? Was that right?
Yeah, that's. It's ringing a bell. And she was the mother of the. Yeah, she was the mother in the show, I think, wasn't she?
Yeah. So the Strucker twins were we got Polaris there, and we also got
that's right.
Yeah.
Had kind of actually now I'm remembering it. We kind of liked it. It was all right.
Yeah.
But that was that era where there was a lot of that kind of stuff out at the same time.
Yeah.
But just wrapping up, guys, were you guys surprised by the Daredevil firing of everyone and starting again?
Born Again.
Kind of not. Maybe. I mean, I think.
Well, again, just like these issues, it's like I think they were dragging stuff out because I think I heard a report. They said, he didn't even put the costume on until episode 4. So Marvel was like,
it was very light. It was very light in tone as well. It was meant to be kind of like
She-Hulk.
Yeah. So Kevin Feige nipped that in the bud.
I'm glad he did.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they are holding. Yeah, I'm glad he did. I'm glad they're holding off on many shows as well, like Echo, because I have a serious concern that they'll all flop because at the moment I think the interest is kind of waning.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't think anyone cares about Echo, and I've said on Signal, I don't think Marvels will make more than 500 million. I really don't.
But I mean superhero comic books things in general. I mean,
and again, after the whole Netflix stuff, I think there's an expectation for the Daredevil stuff where it's like, we don't need a lot. We don't need. I mean, you can have some talkie, but I mean, people are expecting more hallway fight scenes and stuff, and Kingpin,
more Punisher,
more Punisher
as well.
Kingpin,
John Battle's there, so.
Kingpin smashing people's heads in with doors and stuff.
Do it. Yeah. Like, I don't want to watch fucking Ally McBeal with Daredevil. Fuck that.
Well, that's what I think it was heading towards.
Yeah, well, no thanks. No thanks.
Yeah.
Well, now that they're going back to day one, I wonder if they're going to be bringing back like Foggy and Karen, because they were saying they weren't bringing them back.
I have said so many times on Signal that actress who plays Karen is just remarkably good looking. Oh my god! Oh my
Deborah Ann Wall. Yeah.
Hell. Yeah. She has been in my dreams many times. Yeah. You know, we've, you know, all I can say is 10 out of 10.
I tell you what they should also do. Bring back that Bullseye.
Wrap up that story. Yeah.
Colin Farrell?
He would be cool.
Colin Farrell?
No, the guy from the Netflix show. Give him the Bullseye costume. Yeah, he'd be awesome.
So they did the thing where they were like, he got injured, they were rebuilding him. We never got tie that up.
I'll be honest. In the 80s and 90s, I fucking hated Daredevil because of all the fights he had with Punisher. But I've flipped now. Not flipped on Punisher. Obviously, Punisher's my favorite. But I know I really like Daredevil, and I want a gritty show. It can have some humor. Like, you can put humor in gritty shows. Like, it doesn't need to be
for sure.
depressing. But
the overall tone...
Give me something.
But the overall tone I don't think should be comedic.
I'll give you guys a fucking arc of Daredevil, Child's Play, with Punisher and speed and amphetamine in the school system. Yep. It's a great fucking arc by Frank Miller and I assume Klaus Janson back in the day. Give me that for a couple. Make use of 18 episodes. Don't spread one story out over 18 episodes so it's so slow that I want to kill myself.
You could do mini arcs, yeah.
Do mini arcs, yeah.
Do it, man.
Well, that's it. That's what they were saying as well about Daredevil. That looks like they will be going back into like stuff like that, actually TV formatted shows, rather than thinking about it as one whole movie, which you know the Disney Plus shows have been. They're basically like one movie with cliffhangers in between.
One very long, boring movie a lot of times.
and I mean, you know, the expectations are high for Daredevil because look, every other show they've done has been 6 to 10 episodes. Daredevil's the first one they've done that's going to be full 18 episodes. Yeah,
they have to get it right because it will. All eyes will be on it. Like this is not Echo, or this is not
fuck Echo.
Even Secret Invasion or whatever. This is
Echo, fuck Secret
Daredevil.
Invasion. Fuck
it comes with
fuck it all. Give me Daredevil.
But it comes with a huge. It comes with a huge TV like watching fan base, like MCU fan base. So
yeah.
I've got one more question for you guys. Did you guys watch Ahsoka Tano? The Star Wars show?
I did. I
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I wasn't as invested. I mean, I hadn't watched really a lot of the animated stuff, but I mean, it was still good. No, it was good.
I've watched none of the animated stuff, but I enjoyed it. Like, honestly.
Oh, okay.
It was. I thought it was the best Star Wars thing I'd seen in a while.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Oh yeah. Rosario Dawson was good. Yeah, good in pretty much anything she does. Yeah.
To be honest, though, she was very muted. I felt.
Yeah.
She could have dialed it up a little bit further, but it was fun, man. Like seeing Thrawn and stuff. See, I thought that was the best Star Wars thing I'd seen. I also really enjoyed Mandalorian season 3, which I know some people.
I haven't seen that yet. Okay.
I enjoyed it. If you want to watch Ahsoka Tano, watch Mandalorian season 3 because there's a little bit of cross pollination.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll always just be a casual Star Wars fan. I really am not that much interested to dive deep into it. I'll
just casually dating, Ray. Just casually.
Yeah, dating. I'll just swing in for a series here and there. That looks
you're like Zoe and whatever his name is, Kaine.
No, that's it.
Boom,
that's
boom.
It.
You know, in
boom,
and
boom.
out.
What is she doing? Don't let her stop. That's what he said.
Hey, baby, you play Marvel Snap?
Yeah, it's like, I'll let you be Wolverine. I'll let you be Wolverine. That's Ray's pickup line. I'll let you be Wolverine.
Schnicked, baby. Schnicked.
You can be whoever you want to be. Like, there's so many to choose from.
Anarchy. I want to be Anarchy.
Oh,
my favorite character.
Do it. Sorry. No Anarchy there.
The character Chuck Dixon doesn't remember creating. I love it.
Hey, speaking of Daredevil, pretty soon we're gonna next month on Chichester Chats we're gonna have a new review because he's doing the 4-issue Daredevil Black Armor miniseries.
Black Armor.
It's set during his '90s stuff, and some of those
I just put that on my pull list.
Some of those preview pages. I mean, I think I saw Sabretooth. I think I saw a Hobgoblin. So I mean,
really?
yeah.
Well, we get
I want to check.
what's her name? It wasn't Night Nurse, but no. I hope we get. Do you remember? Sorry, Dave. I'm asking Phil this because I know you probably didn't collect Daredevil in the '90s, but I think it was Chichester's run with the mechanical owl. Like Owl was like,
where Owl comes back.
That
yeah,
was
he's
so cool.
Kind of like he had like cybernetic claws and stuff. Yeah.
Very.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Who was I thinking of? Oh, you said Night Nurse. Am I right in saying Rosario Dawson played Night Nurse?
Yeah, and that Netflix stuff.
She was kind of she was.
She was kind of like the crossover between the shows because she would show up on Daredevil, she'd show up on Punisher.
With Luke Cage?
Yeah, remember they got coffee?
Yeah.
I vaguely recall that.
Yeah.
And she took care of Daredevil.
She took care of him. Really, slow and tender. No, but like, yeah, man, like it's so funny when people were critical of the Netflix shows towards the end, but look, the Marvel shows have been fucking far worse, if you ask me. You know?
Oh, I think some of them have been okay. I think they've just kind of there has been like I think there's a good reason why they stopped.
I tell you one that's I loved Loki.
Oh, Loki's out. Isn't Loki out?
Loki season 2 is the most boring piece of shit you'd ever see.
Really?
Have you watched it?
I enjoyed season 1.
I mean,
I like.
I mean, it's 2 or 3 episodes in. I mean, I haven't watched the newest one yet, but the first 2, I mean, there is a lot of talk. I will give Dave that. But
it's like watching paint dry. And I enjoyed season 1.
Just stick to my champions. Yeah.
Stick to your champions, Ray.
Snap.
But just wrapping up, what I will say is what I hate is when a season of a show starts, and we're only in season 2 of Loki, I hate it when they spend the whole first episode referencing the events of the previous season rather than kicking off with a kind of like, a story like with a lot of momentum. They're running around like it's Benny Hill. They're just running around the fucking time variance authority. And you're just like, this is so.
Can I just say? Can I drop a bomb here and just say that I'm kind of, I'm kind of not interested in TV, any of the TV or movies anymore.
Wow.
Other than Across the Spider-Verse, other than the Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse stuff, I thought that was very cool. Until the Fantastic Four and the X-Men come, I don't know. I'm just not interested.
I've
just lost interest.
So you got to fake it to make it, and but like, yes, it is lackluster. Yes, if that's what you're saying.
And I think I saw it. Didn't they say Deadpool 3 is delayed now too and stuff? So.
Oh, actually, I watched Deadpool, but I would watch Deadpool.
I do more than watch it. I like.
Whoa!
Deadpool 3 is probably it's one of the reasons I bother to stay on this planet.
Yeah. I mean, I still watch the Marvels, but I just feel that. Dave, you remember when we watched Captain Marvel? We watched that together, right?
I remember a lot of people getting very excited, overly excited.
Yeah. But that was I enjoyed that film, but I'm not going into the Marvels as excited.
I'm gonna give like a thing here. No one cares about the Black Captain Marvel. We barely care about the normal Captain Marvel, and most of us don't care about Ms. Marvel. And the fact that they're combining these 3 kind of middling to low characters together is just stop.
What else do we have, Phil? After the Marvels, what's this next?
What else is there?
Well, I know
movie wise.
I know eventually we're gonna get to Secret Wars and stuff because I think they said like I saw something. I saw something they were saying Loki season 2, and then it's gonna lead into stuff for Secret Wars. But they're talking. I guess they're talking about like a soft reboot for like.
I want Wolverine. I want X-Men.
I don't. None of those things kind of tickle me. Like none of those.
Secret Wars. Actually, I've said this. I've said
Kang.
this on Signal.
I'm not.
I've said this on Signal. Kang's currently fighting charges. He may be broadcasting from a prison cell. I was saying that I think.
February maybe might be getting Madam Web.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney, Dave.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, no
maybe
Spider
something.
Woman, which is a bit of a travesty. But
I just hope there's a really
Probably good. There isn't.
graphic sex
Oh.
scene to kick it off, just to get me interested in Madam Web. What are the chances of that? Like
Craven.
and her just
I'm
going
not
at
interested
it,
in
you
that.
know? I'm interested in
Not interested
Craven.
in Craven.
I'm interested in Venom
I am.
3 if there's a Venom 3. But
No.
I'm saying it again because I didn't get picked up first time. What are the chances of opening up Madam Web? It's just Craven and Madam Web, Sydney Sweeney just going at it for like 5 minutes.
No, wow.
I'd be very interested.
Sure you
I'd be
would.
super interested. I'm like,
but
this
yeah,
movie's
Phil,
fantastic.
There's not much. There's not much, is there?
It's
There's
slim
not much until the
pickings, right?
Fantastic
It's-
Four. Until
it's
the
slim
Fantastic Four
pickings.
come,
Yeah.
I'm not really that interested. In any
I
of
don't
it.
know about some of these dates because this article's a couple months old, and again, you never know.
Daredevil. I'm only Daredevil. I'm interested in.
Yeah,
but that's
me
about
too.
it.
Unless they push it back,
Punch
they're saying Venom 3 might be in June. So
I'm looking forward to that. I'm also just hoping that there's a Punisher show that comes out of Daredevil.
oh yeah, we might be getting Captain America at the end of July. So
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
really?
yeah.
Oh, with the sort of fake Captain America
With
not
Mackie,
Chris
yeah.
Evans, like with yeah.
Okay,
Like-
is anyone interested in Kraven the Hunter movie?
No.
Yeah, me. I mean, I'm not that interested, but I'm a sucker for Craven, so yeah, I am. I'll be one of the 4 people in the cinema.
Oh,
And same as Venom 3.
the end of next year we might be getting Thunderbolts if they don't push it back.
No,
Well,
I'm not interested
hopefully
in
they
that. But
I mean, I'm interested.
the lineup is crap.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Well, yeah,
I can't argue with you,
because
right?
again, it's all like the it's. I mean,
It's the washouts.
I like U.S. Agent, Winter Soldier, but it's like all
Yeah.
like super soldiers. There's like no one with like actual
Yeah.
like big level
Yeah.
powers or anything. Yeah.
yeah.
and also
I'm not
they've
interested
been
in that.
threading the build up of Thunderbolts like we're supposed to be so excited, and it feels so
No.
underwhelming. Like,
Oh yeah, did you
It's
see?
a big
Eventually,
stuff.
they're putting out, I guess, a USA or a Thunderbolts comic with like it's kind of like the movie lineup. I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, I couldn't care less about that.
No.
Give me the original. Team.
See, that would have been, that would have been really interesting, like Thunderbolts, but like have the genuine villain. Although most of them were killed in the MCU, which makes it a little bit hard. But have the genuine villains from all the movies.
We had a Zemo, have a Z.
have a Zemo.
I mean, all the comic book people do it, but I mean, can you imagine doing that for the general audience, where it's like, yeah, you have this new mysterious guy, Citizen V, and then he rips off his mask and it's Zemo.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it'd be cool. I think Marvel do have reason to be concerned regarding their box office and stuff, and I think that they're just making weird decisions to tread water for so long before it's characters people care about, because the audiences will move on. The mass audience is moving on. You know?
Yeah, I think the rosy patch is over. Really, to be honest.
Well, I don't know why we're waiting on Fantastic Four and X-Men. They need to start pulling the trigger on those.
100% agree. And here's my prediction to wrap this up. I think Wolverine's going to show up in Secret Wars. I think there's going to be a few people selected, and I think they might bring a Wolverine into Secret Wars, and that might be one of the first big mutants they use, and then you're going to get the bigger mutant story after that. That's my prediction, guys. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it makes people give a give You know what I mean?
Marketing wise, that is the smart
It's a
thing
smart
to
play.
do.
It's a smart play.
Most bankable mutant out there,
That's it. That's it.
apart from Namor. Anyway.
Well, you've had your Namor.
My favorite biscuit.
Oh yeah, true. We have. Yeah.
Oh,
My
by the way,
favorite
Michelle
biscuit.
saw Quantum Mania the other day, and she said, "This is idiotic." That was her review.
Oh, I liked it. It was good.
I know, right? But it was a funny comment. I thought she goes, "This is idiotic."
It was kind of like Marvel's take on Star Wars. I thought.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. She said to me, Black Panther 2 or Quantum Mania, and I said Quantum Mania is better. Watch that.
Yeah.
And in the end, she gave it like a 6, but that was early on in the thing. Was some of the more silly stuff. You know how there was a lot of silly kind of characters.
Yeah.
She wasn't coping with them at all.
Oh,
At
okay.
all.
Yeah.
This is idiotic.
Anyway, we should track back to Scarlet Spider 7 to 9 there. So we
6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
Yep, around that for me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Should we wrap this up? I know you boys are. It's late. Yeah.
I need to go to bed. Thank you for having us, Phil.
Hey, no problem. Ray still has to play around the snap before he goes to bed. All right.
I've already played it.
I'm sorry, Ray. I'll drop the Marvel snap talk.
Batman,
Don't.
my favorite character. Champions tour.
We'll go here.
Batman, my favorite character.
All right, so yeah, like I said, next time these boys join me in a month, yes, we're going to cover the Minimum Carnage crossover from Minimum Carnage Alpha and Omega, Scarlet Spider 10 and 11, and Venom 26 and 27. So so like I told you, Venom and Carnage next time, Dave. So
looking forward to that.
Bring it on.
And I think Stegman. I was looking. I think Stegman might be back on art. So
okay,
cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Return to form.
Yes. Maybe that's why maybe that's part of why we got a different artist on these 3 issues. Maybe they're giving Stegman a break. They like
which
and stuff. Yeah,
it's not uncommon. They give the artists a rest. Yeah, for them to work on the future issues. Yeah.
All right, so everyone. Send us all your thoughts on that. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon. Please subscribe to the Patreon, like King of the Snap down there.
There you go.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. Yeah, for October, Lilith and I were ranking Scream Queens. So, yes, check that out for Halloween.
Cool.
All right. So, who should we start with here? All right. Let's start with King Snap this time. All right, Ray, where can people find you when you can't put down the Marvel Snap? Where are you podcasting?
Sure. Well, before I get into that, I might make this a regular thing. Today, I played Gambit versus Claw in Marvel Champions, and I won. It was a close game, but I did win. So Gambit protection.
Gambit.
People just find me on at RayRayPod, REY Pod. Just on all of your social media platforms, even Blue Sky as well. I'm there. I'd love to have a chat about anything Marvel. Anything comics, anything Marvel Champions. I love it all. Batman, my favorite character.
Yeah.
Except for that.
Oh!
Batman 24/7 with Ray.
And I know Ray's excited because we're getting a new Jessica Drew Spider-Woman series by the end of the year.
Oh, yes, baby. Stephen Fox writing that at the helm. Should be good.
And are we
covering it all?
And are we killing Mark Spector? You talk to Jen McKay. Are we killing Mark Spector?
We did. We also did speak to, just a heads up, that's coming up, to David Pepose, the writer of Moon Knight City of the Dead. He was a really fun guy to have a chat with. So look out for that on Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Cool.
All right, Gardner Fox, what's going on Signal of Doom?
Well, Gardner Fox now, I've risen him from the grave, and he's kind of currently working on subtitles to turn DC around, so that's going to be good. And you can find me, Signal of Doom, or on Facebook, or on Twitter, or on all your podcast catches. And I'm on Twitter at RedLantern2051, but also at Signal of Doom. Yeah, check us out. We're up to this week will be episode 333.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Graham Gooch's top score, Ray. So there you go.
One off Tubby Taylor's.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, check us out there, and we're having a hell of a lot of fun. We've got some big interviews coming up. Tom DeFalco soon, and John McCrae coming up as well.
Nice.
Lovely.
That's right. Got the top the elite podcasters right here, kids.
Oh, 100%. The guys that are running the show, you know?
In the Southern Hemisphere.
Oh, well, not here, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got the Southern Hemisphere on lockdown.
The Southern Hemisphere mob, the Southern Hemisphere mob here are those two, yeah.
By the throat.
Exactly.
I've opened the Batman podcast a few times saying the Southern Hemisphere's favorite Batman podcast because... Hey, is Finn still in the Batman, Ray?
No. He's into Minecraft now, so...
Yeah. Yeah, the kids go through
as
Minecraft
if he's going to he'll be like, Batman is popular? He'll be like questioning in school and stuff? Like, Ray's brainwashed him so badly.
I have, yeah.
No, he said something to Ray one day about it. He's like, Batman's better than Moon Knight. And, I think Ray beat
that was when
that
one of his schoolmates got into his ear, but I quickly nipped that in the bud. So
you know what? If shipping wasn't like $150 or whatever it is, I mean, Lilith and I were even talking about getting Finn something Batman for Christmas. Yeah.
No, thank God for shipping.
That's funny.
All right, kids. Thanks for joining us. Thank these gentlemen for staying up late.
So I
Pleasure.
appreciate the sentiment, though.
Again, next 2 episodes, Wolf and I will be doing more Mackindale for the 5th annual Hobgobble Gobble month. We'll get some of that on Marvel Tales. And then next month, Minimum Carnage. But until then, swing on back.
Fingers out.